Well, hello, fellow disc golfers and friends of Prince Gallitzin Disc Golf. My name is Patrick Bainey. I'm one of the many volunteers that have been working since April and a little bit earlier, just to kind of clean up Prince Gallitzin. And today what I wanted to do very briefly was just walk you through our plans and show you exactly what our goals are for the summer of 2024. So today I'm going to talk about the concrete tee pads. We're going to look at UDisc and the recorded rounds, talk about maintenance, talk about signage and wayfaring, and then a couple of the amenities such as practice baskets. So first and foremost, as we can see, hands down the lowest aspect of Prince Gallitzin on UDisc are the tee areas. It seems like lots of people have vitriol for rubber tee mats. They obviously get slippery when it's wet. A lot of times when you play Prince, you end up teeing from side to side. So that is our number one priority. That's what we want to tackle first, is all of the tee areas. And our goal is to replace all of the existing rubber mats with concrete tee pads. Once that is done, then we're going to get into signage. We're going to get more permanent signs. And then finally, we're going to talk about upkeep and maintenance of the course. And then finally, amenities. So obviously, we don't need to touch, and we can't really touch the scenery and the shot variety without, changing the landscape altogether, which is not necessarily a possibility. So first and foremost, when we look at this, UDisc throughout the years, last year we had 974 recorded rounds at Prince Gallitzin. Now, obviously, just because not every round is recorded, right? So even according to the PDGA website and research done by Hartman out of the University of Utah, basically said that it's estimated using a Bayesian probability statistic that about 1 out of every 5 rounds of disc golf is recorded on UDisc. So, theoretically, if 1,000 are recorded, that means you have 5,000 visitors, which is fantastic. I can tell you right now, the park absolutely loves the course. They love it when people come out and they use it. So, when I showed them this statistic, they were excited about that. I would like to see if we can get that up to about 1,200 this summer. So our goal is to have 1,200 recorded rounds. So one way that we can possibly do that is, obviously, the Crooked Run Campground is a really gorgeous campground across the lake. It's been there since years. I grew up there. We would go there every other weekend. And it's like anything else. I mean, you find things to do, but lots of families go, but lots of families don't come from the other side of the lake over to play. So my idea was to go to them. I plan on spending a couple weekends and taking practice baskets, introducing the game, doing Ring of Fire, doing distance competitions, possibly setting up temporary holes somewhere around there that families can kind of play and get used to it. If they want to come over to the other side, that's great. Obviously, campers that have never played disc golf are not going to have a disc golf set. So my goal is to get at least 4, possibly more sets of introductory, just a putter, a mid-range, and a driver. And donate that to the Crooked Run Campground store, where families and visitors can borrow them for absolutely 100% free, and just return them when they're done. That might spark an interest. Our second goal, again, general maintenance, just the idea of keeping it clean, keeping down trees cleaned up, getting rubbish off the thing. Now, obviously, the Prince Gallitzin staff takes care of the mowing of the fields. I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but I certainly did that last year, 2023, was mowed often. Obviously, on number 10, the big one, they didn't mow the entire field, but they did mow a strip down the middle. To keep kind of that fairway. So they upkept, certainly that end. I remember years ago, walking in waist high grass across that field. So, the message was clearly received by them, and they did a great job. My goal, obviously, is to help more with, brush hogging, picking up trash and litter, trimming, and just kind of keeping the course maintenance wise, right? We did take advantage of volunteers on 420, which was Earth Day. Every year on Earth Day, they have a huge volunteer day. I think there were 136 people this year. When I spoke to Tim, he was actually able to get me about 10 volunteers that day. So I went up that day and kind of led a crew where we mixed concrete and we poured the T-pads. And another crew went out with the billy goat or not the billy goat, but the gator, and dropped wood chips around, bullseye of each hole, or some holes. So, I was able to take advantage of that. Unfortunately, that was on the same day as Devon's disc derby, which Gavin and I specifically said, well, let's just keep it to the volunteers, because obviously it's more important to play and support local disc golf than it is to come up and volunteer. So, so I don't want anyone to think that I schedule anything to step on anyone's toes, because I promise you, I had a work staff that said, hey, I have 10 people that can help. So obviously I jumped on that chance and sat out of the disc derby, which is one of my favorite tournaments around. So, perfect. So that's number 2. And then number 3, finally, are these concrete T-pads. So right now, our original goal was to build 2 of them. I kind of went nuts on my Home Depot credit card the day before, because I knew that I had people there, and I thought, well, what the hell? I got the people. Let's build them. So we ended up buying a little bit more. So we actually built 3 T-pads. We put one on 1, 2, and 10. All of them replaced the existing spots where they were. So we removed the rubber mads. Oh my gosh, we removed the rubber T-pads and replaced those. We are going to be using those now for the reds or for the shorts. So, by the end of the summer, Gavin and I talked about it. We would love to try to get all 18 in. So just to kind of give you a quick rundown of what these T-pads are going to look like. So on some of the shorter holes where you don't need a whole lot of room, we're going to make those 5.5 by 12 feet, or 5 by 12, depending on the size and that's required of that area. And those are going to go on the shorter holes, the par 3s, where you don't need much of a run up. On the bigger holes, we went a little bit bigger. So we added 2 feet to that. And we made that a little bit more trapezoidal. So the fronts of those are going to be 5, the back are 7.5, and then the length is 14. So that'll give you plenty of room for people that need room to step up and to get a big run up. So again, right now, and I'm going to follow this up shortly with just a quick, I want to show everyone what they look like. So I'm going to head up there in a little while, and I'll send a video a little bit later. So signage, again, is incredibly important. Right now, we are focusing on our T-pads, particularly with all the funds for that. So to get professionally made, nice signage at each sign, it's going to take a little bit while. So what I plan to do is just kind of make temporary ones. Originally, our goal, my wife is a brilliant artist, so I grabbed boulders and rocks and brought them home and said, honey, can you paint these? And, put, a quick diagram of what the course looks like, the hole number, the par, the distance. So we were working on that. When I talked to Tim, when I talked to the staff, he basically said, I'd rather keep it natural. So we're going to abandon that. But what I am going to do, and what I've been doing, is in my basement with a jigsaw, cutting out arrows, just to give first-time users a little bit more wayfinding cues as to where they're going for the next hole. I know that's certainly that can be frustrating for first-timers. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. So, my goal is to kind of add some navigation cues for every single thing. So, writing it out and wood burning on each of these. Where the next tee is, where the tee boxes are, where the drop zones, etc., etc. And then next, we're talking about amenities. So, we do have bathrooms on number 1, number 4, and number 9 that are open partial. When the park is open, which is a lot more than a lot of some courses have. But one thing that we don't really have are a whole lot of benches and tables, and the ones that we do have are pretty old. So a lot of trees came down this summer. I bought a chainsaw, so I am going to be making something very similar to what you see here, just somewhere that you can put your bag, you can put your butt in between, take a breather, take a rest. So I can't promise you that I'm going to get them on all 18. So I'm going to start with what I can and just kind of work those in. We do have picnic tables on number 9 and number 11, but I would like to get one somewhere in the middle of the back. Just to kind of, again, give people a rest, give people an idea to sit down. And again, this is possibly something that I can work up with the Boy Scouts and help out. And then the last, not the last, but the next amenity that I would like to see is a lost and found box. right off of hole number one. I am by no means a woodworker or a concrete worker, but if anyone out there has an idea or has an extra lost and found box that they'd be willing to donate to the course, that would be great. I'd be happy to buy the lumber if you need it. But really, what we're looking for a lost and found is just kind of some place where you can put lost discs. Every week, every 2 weeks, I'll give them a call and say, hey, your disc is here. I'm going to model it right after what Center County does, which is just kind of have pickup at events. So if you lost an event, I can say, why don't you meet me there? Or, if they're in Altoona area, I'm happy to meet them down here. If they're out of town, I'm happy to mail it to them. And I was thinking about charging just like an extra $2. That money would go back into the course, into concrete. Anything that was unmarked or anything that was donated back to us, we could give to the camp store as part of the starter sets. We could sell at events, and again, that money would go right back into the concrete T-pads. The other amenity that would, I think, would help would be getting a practice basket. There is currently a really, really cheap temporary one right there. I actually found it in my garage. If you can make putts on that thing, then you can make them on this course. So our goal is to eventually replace that with an official practice basket. But for now, what we're doing is we're working simply with what we have. So, again, this is right off a hole, where it's set up temporarily is right off a hole number one, probably closer to number one. The staff didn't want it in this general area because there are picnickers that use that. They're afraid that if they saw a basket, that they would think that was part of the official course, and people might not use it. So
what can you do to help?
First and foremost, you can play prints. As I said, we're hoping to get 1,200 visitors this year, or at least recorded rounds. Please come, please play. Bring a friend. Think about updating your UDisc rankings if you see that they're fit. Obviously, I'd like to see them be as accurate as we possibly can. But if you made a review a couple years ago because the maintenance was low, consider updating that if you find it to be better. You not only play at Prince, but play everywhere. So obviously, the more people that we have playing the game, the better off we are. I think one of the most important things that we can do as a community is to support each other. So that means by playing other people's leagues, playing their tournaments, playing their courses, doing whatever they can, helping out on volunteer days or whatever it is that we can do to help support each other. We are a very small community in a very rural area of Pennsylvania. So the more that we help each other out, the better. Just in a month alone of May, there's a couple tournaments that you should definitely check out. All of these are on Disc Golf Scene. You can register and sign up there. But if you've never played the Gorge, Anthony's run it in near Indiana, please consider doing that. That is an absolutely great time. It's a great course. Jeff himself has really dedicated himself to growing the sport in that area. So please consider supporting that. On 5/18, Center County is doing their endurance, which is going to be 4 rounds, 2 at Prairie and then 2 at Harvest Fields, nonstop. So you're definitely going to get your money's worth on that day. And they have a partnership with bigger organizations. So please check that out. That's on Disc Golf Scene as well. And then finally, it's just to kind of plug our own. On 5/26, Windshred is hosting the Prince and the Jester. That is a doubles tournament. Obviously, we're hoping to fill that up. We're hoping to get, top tier, or at least, some of the better players in the area to take part. But we're also looking to get new timers or people who haven't taken part in a tournament yet. It's a great day to kind of bring someone else out and play 2 rounds of doubles. Just to kind of plug away, also starting on May 5th, Windshred is running their league. It's a singles league. It's $10 to play every Sunday. Please consider coming out to that. The only thing I would say is on the 5th, go to the Gorge first, right? Support your leagues as much as you can, but if you can play locally in tournaments, please consider doing that first. What else can we do to help out? Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but Windshred and Gavin worked really hard this summer. or this winter on a new logo, which you can see right there. He actually purchased Pixels, MVP Pixels with the same design. Please consider buying one of those. They are they're absolutely gorgeous discs. He has them in soft, he has them in medium, he has them in hard. Consider buying one or two of those. Throw them if you haven't thrown them. Hang them on your wall. Give them as a gift. Anything that you can do. He's already pledged all of the proceeds from the sales of this is going directly back into the course. So, he's not seeing a penny of this. So, please consider doing that. We can always use starter sets. As I said, I would like to try to get over to the campground. So the more starter sets that they have over there that families can borrow, the better. So if you have an old putter, an old mid-range, and an old fairway driver laying around, please consider donating that. If you have an older bag that you don't use, a smaller, starter bag that you're not using, please consider donating that to me. And you can certainly reach out to me to do that. You can donate bags of concrete. That's what we need to build these pins. We have the lumber, we have the tools, we have everything. So really now it's just a matter of raising the money to get the concrete. You're more than welcome to Venmo me at patrick.baney or -baney-1. You are more than welcome, if you're not comfortable doing that, you're more than welcome to grab a Home Depot or a Lift Go Lowe's gift card and give it to me at the Prince and the Jester or the League. If you're not comfortable doing that and you want to just buy bags and bring them up, that would be great too. I mean, anything we can do, the more concrete we can get, the better. The sooner we can, the more money we can raise, the cheaper it's going to be for each, because I can actually get a concrete truck to deliver and come in and pour and have it already mixed and ready to go. But like I said, I mean, that takes a significant amount of money to get them up there. So you have to buy a minimum. So the way it works right now is it looks like each tee box is going to be a little bit less than a cubic yard. So, and the last option is to donate an entire tee box, right? So number 18 was donated, or number 10, excuse me, was 100% funded by a young 18-year-old kid who wanted to build a tee box in honor of his grandfather. So, he paid for that, and when it comes time, we're going to put a little sign, for him. So if you'd like to do that, please reach out to Gavin Dively or reach out to myself about the pricing on that. That would be, I mean, if I had 16 more people say, hey, I want to build a tee box for my father or for my, my girlfriend or whatever, that would be the ideal. But, obviously it's a little bit expensive. It'll be a couple $100. So, that's always an option, right? So that is really all that I promised that I have. I appreciate you guys taking the time and listening to this. I know I'm kind of long-winded, but we're excited about this, and we have a lot. We've done a lot, so I kind of wanted to share with you as a community what we've done. So, all right, I hope to see you out on the course. All right, take care. Bye-bye.